Good morning, friends. Well, it is 37 degrees to get your Sunday started. For today, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high near 46. For tonight, still mostly cloudy with a low around 32. And for President's Day, partly sunny with a high near 50. Not much on the calendar today for Sunday, but today is National Wisconsin Day, don't you know? And National Gumdrop Day. Taking a look at some history, in 1978, Leon Spinks defeated Muhammad Ali to become the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. In 1933, an assassin's bullet meant for U.S. President-elect Franklin D. Roosevelt wounded Mayor Anton J. Cermak of Chicago, who died 3 weeks later. Now, keep that name Cermak in mind. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Now, the answer to yesterday's trivia question, the Silence of the Lambs. Today's question, born on this day in 1820, this woman, a pioneer crusader for the women's suffrage movement in the United States, became the first woman to be depicted on U.S. currency. Who is that woman? Now, circling back to that name Cermak, being employed in the internet provider business for the last few decades, I was familiar with the Cermak building in Chicago, but I didn't realize that it was named after apparently this mayor. It's actually a building at 350 East Cermak Road in Chicago, and it is one of the world's largest, most densely connected carrier-neutral data centers. It's owned by a company by the name of Digital Realty. The facility serves as a major Midwest hub. In fact, if you're watching this video on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, some of those data packets, as you click to watch the video and that video streams back to you, are probably going through that facility in Chicago. Again, it's operated by a company by the name of Digital Realty. It's over 1.1 million square feet. It has a power capacity of over 100 megawatts coming in from the utility company. It is known as a premier data fortress. Now, it's converted from a historic R.R. Donnelley printing plant, which is key in this whole thing because being that it was designed and architecturally built for a printing plant and books, very heavy, so the floors were designed to be able to withstand severe loads, which made it a perfect fit for all this heavy data equipment. Now, the company, Digital Realty, purchased the building and turned it into this interconnection hub back in 1999. And in the building, there is access to top cloud providers, including Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, and Oracle. Now, if you know much about the internet, there's only a handful of companies that are actually the top tier providers that have all the data servers that are what we consider the internet. But when you think about if your service provider happens to get to the internet using Google services, for example, but you click on a link and that data is stored on a server in a Microsoft Azure data center someplace, well, how does one get from one to the other? Well, it's these type places, these carrier-neutral interconnection centers, where they actually make the physical connection between those top-tier providers. So if like I say, if you're watching this video, probably some of the packets are going through what we refer to as the Cermak building in Chicago. I would say think of it this way. It is the big interchange or cloverleaf on what we refer to as the information superhighway. If you're on the Google Interstate, but you need to get to the Microsoft Interstate, well, that's where you go to make that exchange. So now you know a little bit more about the World Wide Web and the Cermak building in Chicago. Well, finally, I'll leave you with this thought for today. Accelerating at 1G toward the center of Earth, it sounds a lot more interesting than laying on the couch doing nothing. Well, I'm Steve. Thanks for spending some time with me. Have a great Sunday, and I'll see you on the next video.